Good morning, students. I am Dr. Ruby, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, St.Joseph College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. Today we are going to see a topic on personality assessment. Assessment of personality is inevitable because personality is used as a mean of predicting behavior. Without an idea about an individual, it is difficult to decide anything about him. So it is necessary to know as much as possible about the major techniques of personality assessment, which will be of great help when we take up the study of a person. Some of the important tools used for the assessment of personality are interview, observation, behavioral assessment, situational test, word association test, sentence completion test. Interview. Interview is one of the oldest and most universally accepted methods of personality assessment. Long before the invention of writing, people might have been used as judgment about others by observing and taking to them. An interview is a conversation between a person interviewing and another person, an interviewer. For example, interview is a part of personality assessment to check the suitability of a nursing assistant before she is observed as the staff of the hospital. Interviews can obtain information about a person's thoughts, feelings, and other internal states, as well as information about current and past relationships, experience, and behavior. The next test is observation. Observation is an alternative to interview. When we want to know how a person usually behaves, here, in order to get a complete picture of one's personality, his action in everyday situation have to be observed closely for a long period of time. Observing behavior in different situations gives a much better view of the effect that situation and environment have on behavior and of the range of behavior that a person might exhibit. An advantage of direct observation is that the observer does not have to rely on a subject's own description of his or her behavior. The next assessment is behavioral assessment. Is a technique employed in getting or obtaining a direct measurement of an individual's behavior and to determine the characteristics related to his personality. Often it is carried out in the workplace, at home, or in school. These techniques are based on learning theories and have made important contribution to the treatment of certain kinds of psychological disorders. It provides a means of assessing the specific nature and incidence of a problem and subsequently help us in determining whether intervention techniques have been successful. The next test is situational test. It is another important tool for personality assessment. In situation test, the person is closely observed in a group situation and the conditions as far as possible a stimulating natural setting. An expert observes what a person does in this pre-arranged situation and how he does it. Later, the observations are interpreted and reports made to describe personality. So this test yields primary qualitative data and is solely depend on the observation evaluation of a person. Next, the word association test. It is a personality assessment techniques developed by Jung. This method uses a list of words, some of which are significant in the sense of being related to certain emotion and impulses like anger, fear, etc. Each word is spoken to the person and the person is asked to tell an associated word that comes to his or her mind. The reaction is also recorded and taken into account. After completing the presentation of all the words in the list, the words, the reaction time and words reproduced by the subject are analyzed in order to understand his or her personality. The next test is sentence completion test. In sentence completion test, a number of incomplete sentences will be given to the subject and he is asked to fill them in the proper order. The subject is allowed to complete the test the way he likes. Responses are later analyzed and interpreted by experienced psychologists for proper understanding of the personality of the subject. The personality inventories. So there are three famous personality inventories we are going to see in this video. MMPI, Minnesota Multiphase Personality Inventory. So this is a widely used objective personality inventory developed by Hartway. So this test was originally designed to aid clinicians in the diagnosis of psychological disorders. So it's a lengthy test with 567 statements to which the subject answered true, false or cannot say. The next test is California Psychological Inventory, CPI. So this is another inventory which uses some of the same question as the MMPI but is designed to measure more normal personality trait. This test is used to assess personality at high school and college students level. It covers assessment of traits such as dominance, sociability and so on. The third inventory is 16 Personality Fact Questionnaire, another well-known personality inventory. This consists of 187 items that assess the base dimension of personality. Next one is projective techniques. So projective test is a technique to measure personality through disguised testing procedure. There are different types of projective techniques like Rorschach ink block test, thematic apperception test, children apperception test. So Rorschach ink block test was developed by Hermann Rorschach. It consists of 10 pictures. These pictures are so made as to look like ink blocks, symmetrical abstract patterns that may arouse the strongest emotional responses in people. Each ink blot design is printed on a separate card and it is unique in its form, color, shading and white space. 5 of the blots are in black and grey. 2 are in red and 3 are multicolored. The cards are presented to the subject one at a time and in a specific order. The subjects are requested to build a story around the given pictures. The subject is asked to specify order. The subjects are requested to build a story around the given picture. The subject is asked to specify what he or she sees in each blot. The entire record is then interpreted in terms of assessing the personality of an individual. The next important test is TAT, Thematic Apperception Test. It is another widely used projective test developed by H.A. Murray. So this test consists of 30 ambiguous drawing on cards picturing one or more human figures against an ambiguous background. The pictures presented consist of human figures engaged in various activities or situations. Some of them definitely suggest a social or family situation where people obviously react to one another. The cards are given one by one to the subject. He or she has to make up or construct a complete story from each picture, including what led up to the scene depicted, what the characters are doing at the moment, and what their thoughts and feelings are, and what the total outcome will be. So the next test is Children's Apperception Test, CAT. So this test gives insight into the mindset of the children. Some of the other tests developed for children are Blackie test, which consists of series of drawings about a dog named Blackie. The picture frustration test, it is another test that consists of series of cartoons. The cartoons may depict embarrassing scenes, say anger-provoking situation. The subject responds by completing the dialogue in this cartoon. The completion provided by an individual indicates whether that person can tackle frustration by directing aggression inwardly or by expressing it towards other people. Outward direction aggression is revealed by hostile, anger, statement of completion, while inward direction aggression is revealed by apologetic comments. So these are the three important projective tests used to find the mindset of the individual. There are many uses of personality assessment. Some of the important uses are, it is used for educational guidance, for vocational guidance, vocational selection, that means to differentiate between those who later become successful or unsuccessful workers. So it is widely used in research purpose as a predictor of success. This includes academic success and vocational success. Personality assessment is also used in the choice of friends and associate. It is used in the choice of marital partners. It may be also used in counseling. It is mainly used in selection, classification and promotion of personnel, in selection of persons for key role in society, in the diagnosis of human malfunction or abnormality. Thank you.